Welcome back to another episode of Girls Locker Room. Have you been searching for a show that you can grab a glass, get comfortable, and unwind with? Well, look no further because you found it. If you are new here, I am your host, Reanne, another 20-something-year-old woman learning and navigating the ups and downs of life. On this week's episode, I'm going to have a little bit of a truth-telling. So grab your glass, get comfortable, and step into the locker room as we do something today, as we unwind. Welcome back to another episode of Girls Locker Room. Hey everybody, I know I haven't really been consistent with the show, and happy Wednesday. I thank you for joining me so far. Please don't click out. Stay with me for a little bit because this episode is definitely going to be different. I have no trending topics. I have nothing that I'm obsessed with. It may be very, very short, maybe a good 10, 15 minutes, because I literally am only here because I need to continue to be consistent. I usually have something positive, something motivating, something not funny, not my personality, and I think I'm at this point where I'm frustrated. I've been trying. Like I said, the last couple weeks or a couple weeks ago, I celebrated 2 years of podcasting, and I'm so happy that I tried, this avenue, that I tried this endeavor, that I stepped out of my box and out of medicine and decided to do something for me. I wasn't riding a wave. When I thought about the idea, did I start it at a time where we all were starting podcasts? Yes. Am I a small voice with no big financial backing? Yes. Am I just doing this to do it? Yes. Have people came up to me and decided they wanted to do it based off my show? Completely. But I want to have an honesty hour, truth telling, whatever you want to call it, and tell you that I'm not. Are you fucking kidding me? That I am not having. It's not a positive episode. It's not negative. I won't be complaining. I'll just be pretty much explaining where I'm at in my podcast journey, and I am at my point where I feel like I'm hitting a wall. I feel like I'm hitting my wall because when I turn that damn light on, and I hit this record button here, and I hit the record button on my computer, I am a whole different girl from what I'm trying to be. For the last 2 years, while I've been doing this show, I've been trying to find a way to bring everyday me in front of this camera. And I can't. I don't want to be raunchy. I don't want to be loud. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to ramble because I know that it's the human brain probably won't even get to this point of this episode. I probably have one listener. Let's be real about my stats here, okay? Because today, this episode is going to be completely bare. I have nothing to hide on this one. I am averaging on a good point. And my dad keeps reminding me this means absolutely nothing. But I am averaging a month about 30 listeners. If that. Maybe even half of that, possibly. And I enjoy shows so much. Like, I enjoy other people's shows so much. And I can just see how it's a possibility and how effortlessly it could be for them, right? And I always try to remind myself at some point, you cannot compare yourself to other people. But damn it, 2 years of being by myself, of trying to figure out content to do by myself to make this show appeal when I'm by myself. And I think I'm at this point where I'm at that point where I am holding on for dear life, because you always hear about the story where it's like, if you would have just held on a little bit longer, you would have got that blessing you was looking for. If you would have fought a little bit more. And I know God's timing is how it's supposed to be. Everything will work out when it's supposed to. But nobody tells you when you're in the midst of creating something that you love, that you're going to have a moment where you just don't give a damn no more. And it's not that I don't care anymore. It's that dream, that light on that dream is just slipping further and further away from me. And I don't know why. I come here and I know my consistency has not been amazing. I know that I have not gotten my ass up, sat in front of this camera, sat in front of this mic, and sat down and recorded every week. I haven't gave my show 5 hours on end to figure out how I can market myself, how I can code myself, how I can make cute little commercials. I've been trying TikTok, try to find the trends on that, try to find a way to do a reel on Instagram, to do this and to do that. And you guys, the frustration gets to tear level because I am by myself. I pride myself on being the only person on my show, but it's so hard. It is so hard when you're production, you're talent, you're social media management, you're the investment, and then life is still going. Like how do you keep that bell going? Like I have no idea right now in this moment how I'm doing it. I feel like my topics are repetitive. It's tough. It's tough because I don't want to quit, because it's the one thing in my life besides working that I have been consistent in. It's the one thing in my life that I haven't heard people say to me, we knew you wasn't going to stick with that. It's the one thing in my life that I have not heard anyone say, can you stick to one thing this time? Can you finish this one? It's the first time ever that I've made it this far. And I'm proud of myself. Don't get me wrong. And I'm happy with where I'm at. Like I am happy. Despite how this episode sounds, I am extremely happy where I'm at. But I won't lie when I say, like right now in this moment, I'm trying not to cry. Right now in this moment, I have never felt more defeated at any point of this show. Like any point. Excuse me. It's the one thing that I built, that I put everything in, and I am having the hardest time seeing its impact. And I know most people would close this in. I know most people would be like, no, don't share that. Don't do that. Just keep that to yourself. But I'm going to keep going. This episode does not reflect that I'm stopping and that I'm taking a break, that I'm not doing anything. It's because I love this, because this is mine, that I'm right here right now bearing pretty much everything, because I have nothing else to lose other than to share my frustration with the 15 people that listen. And I think that's also my thing. And I want to thank my dad, even though I don't know if he's listening or if he will, because he doesn't listen to the show much, but he supports it a lot. And anybody else who supports it. But I want to thank my dad because he keeps telling me not to worry about numbers, not to worry about where you're at, what you're doing. But I know that I haven't given my all to it either. Like I know I haven't stayed up researching, doing this and that, and giving complete hours to it and learning new things. Because I think at one point when I tried and I learned something new and I tried a new routine and I tried a new equation and the answer still doesn't come out, I'm even more disappointed than before I added that new piece to my equation. And I never tell people who ask me how it feels or like what it takes and all of that. I never really tell this side, because even with the hard moments, even with the hard times and the hard parts of being a content creator, I still love it. No, you don't get viral moments. You may not hit overnight. And it's these nights that I realize okay, I can't give up, but I do got to let myself have those emotions, and I'm having them bad. I did not do my episode last week because I ran over time, or I forgot what the day was, like I said on my social medias. It's because I literally had no will to sit in front of this mic. I, for once, said I cannot do it today. I cannot make another recycled topic about relationships, about being some empowered woman. Today, I just could not do it. Today, I could not figure out like words to like make it seem like I'm having a good moment in my podcast career, because I'm not. I'm not. It's rough. It's rough. I'm by myself. And though I do like, you know, it gets challenging when you're by yourself. I don't really want to like have a co-host. I used to think I wanted to, I needed it. But I've had shows that have been great. And it's just like, no one's listening. 5 people though. And I'm exaggerating or kind of honest, and I appreciate it. But I would be lying if I said that lately I felt the same that I did when I started, because I don't. And what's hard about it is because, like I said, I have put the most effort into this, besides like school, besides work. This has been something that nobody had to tell me to clock in to do. Nobody has had to give me a grade to do. That my bills didn't depend on me doing it, because I love doing it. But I'm at a valley. You know, you got your peaks and valleys, and I am definitely in a valley. And I'm in a valley that I feel like most people get to in whatever they're creating, whatever they're doing, whatever they're choosing to do. And they get to a point where they're not sure why they're doing it. And I'm kind of at that point. It's been 2 years. 2 years as a small voice trying to fight the big ones. 2 years as a solo person trying to fight the groups. Someone who doesn't have the ability to sit at home and do this TikTok challenge or do this trend or create these things or have 5 cameras in her studio, but she's trying. I was supposed to have a whole episode today, and I did it, and I deleted it, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I am just going to use this as a video diary entry, and just let it all out. I'm going to keep it short. I'll probably wrap it up soon, because I just don't want it to seem like I'm just ragging on my progress or where I am. And I don't know. I think this is the one time where I'm asking, how do I fight this? How do I fight the point of wanting to give up, even though this is what I want to do? Because I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up on the people who have been here from day one. I don't want to give up because I want to prove to myself that I can finish something. That I can put my blood, sweat, and tears into something. That this show can get to the wildest dreams that I have in my head. So I can sit in my studio that I've dreamt about, that I'm planning, that I've ran numbers for, that I've started to like make a plan to create. How do I get past this point of wanting to throw it all in the ground and to say, forget it? That I quit, that I hang up this beautiful mic, that I pack it up and put it in the closet how do I fight that will to want to do that? Because I don't know. Right now, as I'm recording this, I have no idea. But that's all, I guess. I wish I had a jam session, but it just wouldn't make sense to put it with this. And I'm going to keep, like I said, I'm going to keep this brief because no one really wants to hear that bullshit, I guess. To my supporters, thanks for sticking this out with me. Like I said, I'm not quitting. I just needed to let that frustration out, and what better way to do it with my 10 listeners. So 2 of my fellow content creators, help me out. Not even my content creators, my entrepreneurs. People who have abandoned what they thought they should be doing. How did you not give up? This is the only time I think I'm wrapping up a show where I'm asking for help, because I don't want to stop, but I don't want to be inconsistent. But I want to get through whatever this is that I'm going through at this point. I want to get through it. So with that being said, this was this week's episode of Girls Locker Room. If I didn't scare you off and I didn't make you emotionally uncomfortable, don't forget to subscribe and join me next Wednesday, where it will definitely be a brighter episode than this. And with that being said, I will see you next week.